Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a Q&A video. I haven't done one of these for a while. So I asked you guys on Instagram and here on YouTube to send me your questions. So I'm going to be answering them in today's video. If you do have any other questions I haven't addressed, do leave them in the comments and I'll try and answer. If you are a regular viewer here, then do make sure to check that you're subscribed and that you have notifications turned on and that you're signed up to my newsletter. Link is in the description box to where you can sign up. So without further ado, let's just get into the questions. So this is on YouTube. Lynette says, when did you develop a passion for fragrance? So Lynette, I've definitely always liked perfumes. I love little trinkets and little things, bit of a magpie. So perfume bottles, the way that they are, you know, different colors and shiny have always appealed to me. You know, and I'd always be really curious going through duty free in the airport or in a department store. And then when I was a student, I had a year out where I worked to save money, and I worked full-time in a perfume shop, sort of 6 or 7 days a week, and it was an independent shop, and the owner basically taught me like everything about perfumes, and I just got really into it. I just memorized every size, every version, the price of all different perfumes, and I guess it just started from there, and then since then I've always kept up with new releases. Lynette also says, in your travels, what countries' perfumes intrigue you most? I am a big traveller, if you don't know. I've just actually made an Instagram, Soki Travels, and I have another YouTube channel with my travel videos on, Soki Travels, so do make sure you're subscribed to that. I have to say, I love places like Thailand where you get a lot of lemongrass, you know, it's very calming, soothing scents everywhere. Just makes you feel like smiley and relaxed, and I don't know, just yeah, I really like those type of scents. X-Teen Joy, sorry if I'm not pronouncing these right by the way. If you ever created your own fragrance, how do you want it to smell like and how does the bottle look like? So I would definitely want a really unique bottle. I think the bottle is so important. You look at it every day and it tells the story of the fragrance. So I'd love to have something like a star or a moon, or, you know, I really like those type of things. And then in terms of the scent, so gosh, so hard to pick. I definitely couldn't just have one perfume. I love to do a really sparkling peony rose. I'd love to do a pear fragrance with I don't know. And definitely cassis fragrance, perhaps with some pear in that, with some blackcurrant and berries, an osmanthus fragrance, an orangey fragrance, so many I would love to do. Cassandra Griffiths says, have you considered doing more men's fragrance videos? You know what, whenever I do a video about men's fragrances, it tends not to get as many views as my other videos, so I guess it's not really appealing to people as much. I also don't really know as much about men's fragrances as women's ones. I find them more simple, you know, there's less categories, they're just less exciting to me, and of course the bottles and the branding on like pretty and beautiful, because they're aimed at men. So I can do, if you have any specific requests, let me know, but I'll probably stick to the majority female ones because that's, you know, my passion. Karen Borgelini says, have you ever wished to have a degree in cosmetology or fragrance? I have thought about maybe going on a makeup course to learn the sort of all the secrets and stuff there. And it would be cool to learn how to actually create fragrances and mix them and stuff. But I'm not a huge fan of degrees and things like that. If I think about my degree, which I did in politics, philosophy and economics, I've never really used it. It was interesting, but it was a very expensive 3 years where I didn't really learn much. So I think unless you have to do a degree, like to be I don't know, a doctor or a lawyer or something, I'm a bit skeptical about degrees because they're so expensive and I'm not sure they're good value for money. Zainab says, I'd like to know what your favourite affordable perfumes are. I do think that the Ariana Grande ones are really good value for money. Here in the UK, you can get them like £30 and they last very well. So you're getting good return on investment. Celebrity ones in general, some of the Beyonce ones can be quite good lasting power, and some of them are really cheap, like less than £10. The Mademoiselle Rochers ones are very good value for money, very affordable. And I definitely think Jimmy Choo, like with the exception of their latest release, I Want Choo, most of their fragrances you can find heavily discounted. So I recommend checking out Jimmy Choo. Vadrana Ree says, which one do you like more, YSL Libre Intense or Elie Saab La Parfum Lumiere? Definitely the Elie Saab Lumiere. It's so classy, sparkling, beautiful, orange blossom, mandarin. The YSL one with that lavender in, I find just less special. Elie Saab is so special and sparkling and classy, and they're probably around the same price. I'd definitely say go for the Lumiere. And Rachel Thorpe says, do you know any fragrances similar to Ghost Sweetheart that are more long lasting? Thank you. So Ghost Sweetheart is a woody pineapple, I think. Has a bit of mint in. I remember it being quite soothing. Pineapple perfumes don't tend to last very well because it's such a light, watery scent. From the woody point of view, the new Jennifer Lopez one is quite woody. You might like that. And maybe mixing it with some pineapple body spray or something like that could work. I can't think of anything that's exactly like it though, to be honest. And given Ghost Sweetheart, you can get that really quite cheap sometimes. I recommend maybe just sticking with that, but just getting some little bottles to keep topping up throughout the day, because it's not expensive, so you can spray loads of it. I think there's a body cream in the gift set as well, if they still do the gift set. Cynthia says, is Lancome Idole good as a gift and how long does it last? So Lancome Idole is good for lasting. It's a rose, pear, floral perfume, very elegant, pretty. Definitely a nice gift because, you know, you've got the Lancome brand, it's a pretty bottle. I would say that the original Eau de Parfum is the safest gift rather than the Aura or the Intense version. So yeah, and it's definitely good for lasting. Lancome perfumes generally do tend to be very good for lasting. So yes, definitely recommend that. Anisha Uma says, your most favorite perfume, which is also the cheapest. So it's definitely back to Jimmy Choo. So the Jimmy Choo Eau de Parfum, it's over 10 years old. It's my favorite fragrance, and I can usually get it less than half price through different offers or coupons or whatever. So I always try and top up on that whenever there's a sale, because if they charge 3 times more, I'd still buy it. So I love that it's cheap. And then Ika says, what are the best fragrance releases of 2021? I have actually done a video on that, so I'll leave that link down below. So moving on to Instagram, Dillet says, if all perfumes disappeared, how would you react? That would be a very sad day, and I would not be able to make any more videos, I guess. Maybe I could imagine them and talk about them, but that would be an absolute disaster. I would not be happy. Edney Sonny 8 says, what's the worst perfume ever? So this is so subjective, right? Like there's always a perfume which is someone hates, which another person absolutely loves. Personally, I find really strong oriental fragrances like the original Opium, the Shalimar Initial, so spicy. I don't want to smell like a spice ingredient. I personally don't like those. I think if I were to say like worst perfumes though, for me worst is when you can't really smell it and it fades really quickly. So it kind of depends what you mean by worst. That's actually quite hard to select. But yeah, for me, anything really oriental tends to, and really spicy, can make me feel quite nauseous and uncomfortable. Mademoiselle Deb says, what are you doing when you're not doing YouTube? So I'm actually not doing anything else apart from perfume stuff at the moment. I'm not working at the moment in a corporate job like I used to. I'm putting a huge amount of time into my website. It takes a long time for me to write articles. I've started my newsletter. I've started a Soki Home Instagram, have my Soki Travels YouTube and Instagram. So I'm just trying to do all those different things. But yeah, main amount of time is spent on YouTube and my website. So this is why I really appreciate you guys supporting me and liking videos and stuff, because this is my livelihood. So Scurry Pupa Papa, sorry, says, which is more sexy and nice, Montguerlain EDP or Intense? So I definitely say the Intense is more sexy. It's just got that bit more to it, a bit more body. I personally don't think, Montguerlain Original Eau de Parfum is particularly sexy fragrance. It's more like a calming daytime feminine scent. I think I've mentioned a few times that I find Angelina Jolie an odd choice for that brand, because like for that scent, because it's quite pretty, it's a bit lavendery, whereas, you know, she's quite edgy. I'd expect a different type of fragrance, but I'd recommend the Intense. You know, Intense versions always last longer as well. Vivonia29 says, how many perfumes do you have? I haven't counted recently, but probably about 100, I'd say. I have a little storage unit that I keep them all in, and then I have about 5 or 6 always on the go, like on my dressing table, and I'll wear maybe 2 or 3 different ones every day. You know, every few hours I'll put a different one on. So yeah, I've got a lot. Klassen, sorry, says Idole Intense, Joy Intense, or Coco Mademoiselle L'Eau Privé. Are they similar? Which do you prefer? So I definitely rule out Coco Mademoiselle L'Eau Privé. That is a very light fragrance. It's meant to be worn just at night time. It doesn't really last. It's not good value for money, so not that one. I'd say in terms of which do I prefer from all of them, probably the original Idole. I was talking about it before, right? It's feminine, sparkling, it has a pear note in it, which I love. The Intense version is good, it's just a bit more woodier. And Joy Intense is okay, like it's definitely better than original Joy, but it still doesn't last very well. And I think the Lancome Idole ones are much better value for money. And Fiona Margaret Ann says, the original Giorgio Armani C, does it smell like the new Intense that just came out? So yes, it does smell pretty similar. It doesn't have that strong cassis note in it like the Intense. It's more about the vanilla patchouli, but they are quite similar. I'd say 75% the same. It's just the Intense is a bit more fruity and the original is a bit more vanilla. But I think if you like one, you would like the other. It just depends if you want that fruitiness or not. But they're both pretty strong, good for lasting. Always get compliments when I wear either of them. Cool, guys, so those were my questions, Q&As for now. Do let me know if there's any others in the comments down below. But that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching. Do give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And make sure you're subscribed, but that's it. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.